Alrighty, this morning I've mixed up a bag here of seed. I picked up some perennial ryegrass, some Bermuda. I had some dryland pasture mix, cover crop mix that has peas in it, and some native bunch grasses and dryland grasses and things. And then when I was looking for other stuff to throw in here, I found some very ancient cover crop and grain seeds that I probably bought 20 years ago, and they've just been sitting around, so who knows if they'll sprout or not. But some of those are a perennial wheat, a hulless wheat, and a hulless barley. So I just thrown anything at the side of the hill that could possibly grow and might stick around. The other thing I picked up was some of these seed starting mats. It's supposed to help hold seed in place on hills, and supposedly will biodegrade. It doesn't have like netting. It's just kind of I don't know, just kind of some kind of like stuff. But we're gonna try this out. We're gonna put down seed and put this over it, and then just wait and see. This is the area that was dumping a lot of water down the hill and got into the house, and it's because we're starting to get a lot of erosion up that way. Looks like there's a big bare area in there, so I'm gonna see if I can get up there and start up there. Of course, this might not be as easy as you'd think, because that's a pretty steep jump there. Let's see if I can get up here. This little gully starts way up higher than I thought it did. Ugh. Okay, but I can just see the old barbed wire fence. That was part of when they fenced off the 1 acre around my house. I don't know if you can see that post right there. And so that might be what has started some of this, was then they came up and put in the fence and disturbed the ground and you know, when they came up, and they would have been cutting brush and rolling rocks out of the way and stuff like that, and kind of rearranged things. But I think maybe I'll start right here. So this is a little below the steepest part, and looks like the water had started up there a little bit and came down, and then there's sort of a little shelf, and then it slopes off. I'm sure this yucca here, or sodal dying, probably didn't help anything, but I'm gonna see if I can get over in that's not really a flat area, but it's not bad, and see if we can get started. So this stuff looks kind of like some kind of lag wood or plant fibers or something that's going to biodegrade. Hopefully we'll have just enough rain next week to start these without being another big flood and a big washout. Alright, this is a view from partway up the hill above the house. So that's the buck pen. That's the barn I'm trying to build on the hill. That's the hoop house for the chickens. And up over that way is the big chicken house. And then the girls pen, the dogs pen, the milking area at the top of the house. So you can see we are really steep around here. I haven't decided. I'm thinking what I might do is I might roll some of this up and try and pin it with rocks or something to help block up these little gullies before they get any bigger up here. And of course they are running water down the side of the hill, and it gets bigger down at the bottom. Okay, that's all the rest of that first mat. I need to probably bring another one up, and while I'm up here, I want to go look and see what that looks like on the other side of the barbed wire, because I think it's getting a ditch up here too. Oh yeah, oh boy, wowza. Yeah, and I don't know what started that. Something going on up at the top of the slope, I guess. It looks like some sorrel was up there, but it's died out. That's a pinon pine. You could not see it above the brush when I was a kid, so I'm not sure what year it sprouted, but it's not super old, maybe 50 years. It's pretty good size. Anyway, let's look at this ditch. Right down. Oh yeah, and then it goes, and then it either goes straight down the hill towards the yard in the front of the house, or it's going to curve around and go down the other ditch. So I'll have to go look at that edge. This is the barbed wire fence that they put up around the 1 acre my house was on when originally the mine company originally sold the land. This is what I would like to take all the barbed wire out and replace with sheep and goat fence. So I'm gonna run goats up here. While I'm up here, so those fence posts, my front corner of my property is just over the crest, but you can see the old road scar there as it goes down the hill, and back in there it crosses the creek and comes back up this side, and it comes right into where that cattle guard is. Oh, okay, it's kind of steep up here. I am being very careful because the last thing I need to do is fall down the hill and break my neck. Bentley's been sinking up past his hocks in the mud here by his feeder, so I got some sawdust pellets, and I can't quite hoist the bag over the fence. Good morning. So I'm just scooping them and throwing them in there, just to try and get him a little firm footing and get a little mud taken care of here. Bentley thinks that those wood pellets are snacks. You're too funny, dude. Yes, I know, goats eat wood. They eat trees. Yes, I see you. Even after catching this many flies on every piece of fly paper I have put out, there are still loads of flies everywhere. Look. That's why are you trying to eat the fly paper? Oh, now he's got a piece stuck in his mouth, you goofball. Yeah, that ought to keep you busy for a while, you stinker. Spots, you're getting so big. Look at him standing next to his grandpa Bashful. Bashful is 4 years old, and Spots is only like 7 months. Yeah, look at you guys. Big old boys. Alrighty. I dropped hay a little bit early, so I've been out here mucking. The flies are just miserable, even with all the fly paper I've put up. So I'm trying to get all the wet manure and stuff out and away. I have a few more minutes, and then I'll need to fill up these girls' water buckets, and I'll put some lime down in here. That'll help a little bit. Hi, cinnamons. Alrighty, it's Saturday night, and this is what I'm doing. I just finished milking. I gave all the girls their hay pellet snack. I'm fixing the boys. Oh, but you know, I only need 2 feeders now. Mr. Chino has left us for other places. And that's okay. Good thing off the feed bill. Just actually been kind of a lazy day today. I just kind of fiddled around, worked on that seeding up on the hill, and picked up some trash, and checked my stock of soap over at my friend's place. Bunny's Emporium. Antique, vintage stuff, handmade goods. She is set up in the old YMCA building in Miami, also known as Miami Mercantile. It's on the corner of Miami Avenue and Sullivan Street in Miami, Arizona. There we go. And she has set up one whole room in there just for local handmade goods. So that's where my soap is. And try and get back over there tomorrow. And take some of my other products. I just am really brain dead. It's been kind of crazy this past week. So actually going on a couple of 3 weeks here. I can't believe this is like the 18th of October. How did that happen? I don't know. I have no clue how we got this late in the year. And this flooding and stuff has sure set me back. It's like, first it was way too hot to get a lot of things accomplished outside. I was just waiting for the weather to cool off a little bit and to get a little bit of rain. I did not expect, like, you know, a year and a half's worth of rain in a week. That's been crazy pants. So I'm still waiting to try and find somebody that can help me figure out how to go forward. Too many things rolling around in my head, and what ifs and what ifs and what ifs and what ifs. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all in the morning. Alrighty. This is a fairly steep area right above my hoop houses. I'm gonna try to get up in the corner there, because there's two fences that meet right there. I want to try and get up in that little bare spot and plant some seeds and do some ground cover. So and then I don't know if you can see on the other side of the fence, we have quite a gully starting to form right there. I want to try and get up above that and do the same thing, because I've never had a lot of water come down here, but it did. It piled up a lot of rock right there, and then some of it went right on into the hoop house. So I want to try and get up above this patch of scrub. There's a big area of bare rock, and I'm going to try and get some seeds started up there. Today's seed mixture is the rest of the perennial ryegrass, Bermuda grass, dryland non-irrigated pasture mix, and then these are some native coyote gourds. I also found several packs of wildflower seed, which I threw in, along with the ordinary sunflowers and zinnias and things like that. Just throwing everything I have at this hill, try and get something to stick. Here's the view from above the biggest chicken house there, the kennels where the ducks are, the hoop house, the buck pen, my house and the girls' pen down there, and across the canyon you can see the little green patches where I put seed and stuff yesterday. You can also see higher up there's another bare area, but it was really steep. I really had a hard time up there. So so now you can see right there below that fence is the piece I just put in. And I'm up here. I've got 4 rolls of seed mat left. So I think my goal is going to be to just try and put like a strip around this way to help keep it from running off down into the big chicken house and the hoop houses. That's the hill I'm climbing. It is much steeper than it looks like in video. So I'm just like spreading a lot of seed, especially towards the top of this patch, because I know any rain's going to shift some of it down. And then I'm just trying to scuff it in a little bit, at least in some places, without disturbing things too much and have it wash out more. And if there's rocks, if there's real loose rocks, I've been trying to put them up towards the top of the mat. And then I have some little landscape pins, and I don't think they're really going to do anything good, but maybe at least they'll help keep it down if the wind starts blowing. It does tear really easy. It's just like, looks kind of like just shredded fibers of some sort. I don't know if that's wood waste or cotton waste or what, but it's some kind of fibrous chopped material pressed and formed into a mat. And then that's all there is to it. There's no, I've seen some seed mats that had kind of looked like a polyester netting on them. This has no netting, so this is just all just fibers. You can kind of scratch some seed into the soil here. I have seen a couple of little native things popping up along here, but not much, because I think all our seed bank is probably down at Roosevelt Lake or the bottom of the Miami Wash. So some more. And like some of this ground is already starting to dry out a bit. So I'm hoping that the mat will, it'll act like a mulch. It'll help keep the soil in place, and it'll help keep the moisture in the soil. And I'm just trying to go along the slope. At an angle. So who knows? Just throwing everything I have at it. Try to get something to grow up here. So there's our seed mats up there, and cross my fingers, something will grow. Tinker Cat, you just chilling? I know. I'm gonna have to make you move in a little bit though. Yep. This is the leaky barrel, and it's gonna have to come out. Just out here cleaning up around the milk stand, and trying to get the straw that I put down after the first flooding. Some of it raked up and pulled out. Our ground is still real wet in the shady spots, especially where there's a lot of clay. So, trying to get things dried up and dried out. Things put back together like they should be. Though, this is an opportunity in some areas. Kind of got a clean slate. We can make some changes and hopefully make things better. It just that this was not on my agenda at all. If you're just coming across my channel, my name's Mary. I live in not the high desert, not the low desert, kind of the in-between, the foothills of the desert in Arizona. I'm at about 3,500 feet. I think we're zone 8A, B, something like that. Some parts of my season is more like one and more like the other. And I have dairy goats and chickens and ducks and things, and this is a whole lot of everyday life. But we just had a major flash flooding event that wiped out a lot of businesses and buildings and things in the two small towns here, Globe and Miami. That started the 25th of September. This is the 19th of October, and I think we're all still in shock. We're all exhausted. We're all traumatized. But we've had some nice, warm, sunny days, and things, I know I feel a little bit better. Just, I'm really tired. It's been a long haul, and it's going to be a really long haul to get things all situated. Here at my place, I lost part of my perimeter fence in about 4 spots. Part of my buck pen's fence is folded over under, I don't know, probably 3 feet of rocks and dirt. My poor girls, their pen is still real soggy. And I've been mucking out their place as much as I can, trying to get them dried out. But my feed barrel is leaking, has leaked water inside, and I bought a new one, so I gotta replace it. So I figured I'd get out here and muck this space and get things situated today. That's where my little trash can was sitting. I keep grain in for the goats, and there should be 2 cement pavers there. That's how much dirt and mud washed into here when my culverts overflowed on my creek. Let's see how deep it is. About an inch there, under the can. Under the can, and a little deeper on the outside. Oh my goodness. So that was a little swamp cooler that was given to me. I never had time to check the pump. It wouldn't work, and I didn't have time to fool with it. But we used it a couple summers ago when it was super hot, because one of my does was having a real hard time with the heat. And I would come and turn it around and blow it on her in the afternoon. Usually the... Yeah, yucky just the seam on the bottom, or maybe something happened with the lid and water got in, but there was no time during the storming that I thought that the lid was off or not adjusted right or something. To shine a light up inside there when it's kind of dark and see if we can see any little peepholes. I don't know if it's this seam around the bottom. I mean, yeah, it's starting to be rusty. This barrel's been hanging around here, I don't know, probably a solid 20 to 25 years. So it doesn't surprise me. It's getting a little bit old there. So you can see the pavers that it was sitting on, and I think it was just all the mud and water backed up and piled up against that bottom seam, and it leaked in somehow there. I don't think it came in from the top because none of the feed in the top of the barrel was wet. I didn't realize that that barrel had water in it until I was pulling out the last bit of a bag of hay pellets, and the top of the hay pellets that were in there was probably a quarter to a third of an 80-pound bag. The top part was still dry, it was fine, but the whole bottom part of that bag was sopping wet. And that's when I realized that the barrel had water in it. So, we'll have to figure that out. In the meantime, I have spent some money and bought a trash can, a galvanized trash can, and I have some flashing tape I'm going to put around the seam, bottom seam on that, and on the inside of the lid where the handles punch through, so that hopefully it won't leak. And I think we'll add another set of pavers in here, raise these up some more. All right. If you've had issues in the past with trash can sitting outside and your feed in it got wet in heavy rain because there's little gaps around where the handle goes in, and we're gonna prevent that. So this is flashing tape. It's like a thin metal tape, and it has a really sticky back, and I'm going to cut a couple pieces and put them on the where the handles come through the lid here. Nice big square, and peel the plastic off the back, and really try to smooth it down as good as I can. And get a good seal. Y'all weren't supposed to fall down like that. So I'm just taking the rounded part of the scissor handle and just really rubbing, kind of burnishing that tape down. Try to make sure that no water will come through those little holes. Do the other side and we're all done. Well, I didn't get as much accomplished today as I had hoped. The hillsides kind of kicked my butt this morning, and then I was really tired after that. But we've been to feed Bentley this morning. I restocked my my spot at Benny's Antique and Emporium Bazaar in Miami. And I did muck out, oops, we forgot to get the can. I did muck out part of the milking area. As you saw, there's a whole lot of mud dumped in there. Let's see, we taped up this trash can. So we'll carry it up there. Okay. Here. Let's try this again. Oh, I'm kind of tired. I'm sore. That hill kind of kicked my butt. And this lid is kind of wonky. There we go. I think I just need to wear these two hands. Little girls are yelling because they haven't had their afternoon snack yet. We'll go get that for them. It's been a nice day. I ran to the grocery store and the feed store, got a few things. Looking at the price of grass seed now was crazy. It was like, whoa, $40, $50, $70. Even just for plain old Bermuda grass. And some of the mixes, I'm trying to stay away from anything that's got fescue in it, because some fescue under certain circumstances can be toxic to livestock, and I just don't really want to risk it down the road with the goats or anything. So I got a bag of whole oats. And oats will usually make a nice clump, and they have a nice fibrous root mass, so that will help. So if I don't have anything else, I can plant oats to help hold soil in different places, at least over the winter. It'll grow really nice over the winter while it's cool, and then next spring it will set seeds, and then it will die back. But at least we'll have a little bit of vegetation, some root mass to help hold soil, help keep things from washing all the way down the hill. Now if my fly paper order would hurry up and come in, so I can put out some more fly paper, because the flies are still massively crazy. And I'm out of fly paper. All right, minuscule progress. My friends and volunteers were back this afternoon, and they scraped and vacuumed and everything inside the walls, and sprayed the mold stop stuff. And they have a person that has an extra piece of sheetrock they'll probably be able to pick up in a couple of days. And then, might only have to buy one sheet. That would be cool. I don't care if I have to buy all of it. I just kind of want to be done. I want to be done. So I want to put all my stuff away, because the house is crazy pants right now. Okie dokie. It's Monday afternoon. Volunteers were here, did mold remediation in the back porch. Might be a couple days before they come back and do sheetrock. So we're moving at a snail's pace, and the mess in the house is driving me crazy, because I can't put anything away really until we get the porch situated, because a lot of stuff that's sitting around goes back there. Yeah. Anyway, just out here doing chores. I'm looking at all the stuff that's sprouting up since it rained. It's like, gee, we could have used that rain in June and July. Imagine how lush and green we would have been. I'm just here scraping at this floor in the living room. That is all remnants of the padding from the carpet. And these wavy lines like that are also part of that. But I think that these other lines that go like that, because they're like in the wood. So I think that this was just rough sawn lumber down here on this floor. This is like the original part of the house, and for being 100 years old, this is really sturdy. It doesn't squeak, it doesn't move or anything in this part of the house, unlike some of the newer parts. Though I think those newer parts were probably made with lesser quality materials. So, but before I can do anything in here, we got to get all this crud up off the floor. Alrighty, I definitely need some taller people to come and help. Because this is gonna be really hard, and I'm really short. I've got about 60 feet of creek bank to stabilize right in through here to keep my driveway from falling in. And my idea is to set T-posts and some cattle panel, and then some smaller fence wire inside the cattle panel, and backfill it with as much rocks as we can find. Lots of rocks up on the other side of the creek. Yeah, I just don't think I can get this T-post in there yet. I've scraped some and swept some. I still need to sweep over in this corner and scrape some more, but my hands are tired. If I keep going, I won't be able to milk tonight. Yeehaw. Alrighty. The creek bank used to be out as far as that. Okay. That's like probably 4 feet. And all the way up. And as you can see, it's still sloughing off right here by my gate post. And in fact, there's like some cracks. And sometimes when the ground cracks like that, that means it's undercut and it's going to slough off. So in this case, it might just be the clay that, yeah. I think that might just be clay, but sometimes it means it's going to slough off. So, yeah, I really need some helpers to pound T-posts and help me put some cattle panel and fencing up along here to help, so we can start filling it in with some rocks and dirt before my driveway goes. Good morning. It's Wednesday. We had a little sprinkle this morning while I was out milking. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. It's still real cloudy and there's some thunder grumbles out there. The forecast is for not really any appreciable amount of rain, but we'll see, because sometimes it's wrong, right? And then so I'll probably hang in the house for a bit and see what we can manage to do in here. I really need to do some soap and lotion and tallow and stuff, so I'll see if I can make a little work, get a little bit of work done on those things. I'm going to really try hard to make it to Superior Farmers Market this weekend. I've been like a month without being to market, and I really need to get there. Production is down. That's Bambi and Esmeralda. Some of that I think is just everything's been so crazy and everything's still wet. Their pack is kind of moldy. I'm trying to get that mucked out because the mold isn't good for them. Trying to dry Miss Pinnelbean off, so we're down to about half a pint of milking. Hopefully in a few more days, maybe I can cut her off morning milking. We'll see. I'm just trying to take her down really, really slow so that she doesn't get too full and start leaking and risk a case of mastitis. But I would like to have her dried up and done in a couple of weeks. So we'll see how long it takes. Got to decide what size jar I need for the rest of Bambi's milk. Might be a pint, might be a tad more. I don't know. We'll see. Alrighty. It's Wednesday afternoon. I've been sort of productive today. I did get a small batch of unscented tallow skin balm done and a larger batch of lavender scented, and so those are ready to go for this weekend. And I looked at all of the soap on the curing rack, and this batch of unscented was ready to package. So I'm getting it labeled, and then it'll be time to go do chores. In the meantime, I also went and grabbed the T-posts that we're going to need for the side of the creek driveway project, because I'm not for sure when my friend's going to be able to come drive them in. But I figured if I went and got them, then I could they can just be here all ready for when he gets here, and he won't have to like wait around for me or anything. So that was good. And then I had a lovely friends dropped off some delicious food. I haven't eaten it yet, but I know it will be delicious because they dropped off food to me early on after the flooding when I was so super overwhelmed, and I'm very grateful that they had done that. So you know, I want to tell you, you know, somebody that has a death in the family or some traumatic event has happened to them, and they're not maybe totally functional mentally or physically or whatever, that just making them, you know, cook a little bit extra for dinner and put it in a little container that you don't need back, that they can just throw in the microwave and warm up and go on. And I was so blessed and so grateful for those. I had a couple of different families do that for me, And it was such a blessing in those, especially that first week after the flooding, because everything was so crazy and my kitchen was such a wreck with the flooding in there. So that's just something to maybe keep in mind. If you don't know what to do for somebody, a ready-to-eat home-cooked meal will always go over well. So anyway, got a little sidetracked there. Anyway, I just showed him around and showed him some of the damage, and just had a nice chat. So what else is going on today? I probably really should have got out and mucked some in the boys' pen. I noticed when I filled water buckets last night that they have some fly maggots in there. But maybe I can just do a little bit on that here in a bit when I go out to do chores. What I do when I see that in the goat bedding is I scoop that up and I go put it in a chicken pen. And the chickens love the treat, and they will scratch through all the bedding and stir it up, and then it's part of their bedding. So I'll try and get at least a little bit of that done when I go outside right now. I just would really like to finish up this batch of soap so it's not just laying here on the table and in the way of doing something else. What else? We're still just kind of muddling along a tiny bit at a time. Getting things kind of put back together and cleaned up, and it's like, I mean, my house was a train wreck before, and now it's just so much worse. So, but we'll get some stuff done eventually. And now that the weather's cooling off, that will make it a lot easier to work outside. But also, a lot of my friends, they're on the other side of the mountain someplace. And right now, the road is still having issues. We have a section of road just west of the town of Miami that is, it washed out during the floods, and they fixed it enough that most of the time they can let traffic through one lane at a time. So you know, one lane goes and the other lane can go. So it's going to be a bit before it's probably back to 2 lanes, but at least it's open part of the time. Part of the time the road is closed because of construction going on down towards the other end of it, which has been ongoing and will be for a while longer. I don't remember the ending date for that project. They're replacing a couple of bridges, and I don't remember what the projected end date was, though construction has had to halt several times due to crazy things like wildfires and flash floods. So hopefully it will get done at least close to on time. Yeah, so nothing super exciting around here, just kind of muddling along and trying to get things done. Waiting for my friend to bring the trash trailer back up so I can fill it up, because there's more trash. I mean, there's been trash for a while. It's just that over the summer especially, it was too hot to even think about working outside. So, what else? I don't know. I'm sure there will be something outside to talk about. Well, the edge of the driveway is sloughing off some more. Even over here, where it wasn't bad before, is just sliding away. Hopefully we can get that fixed. I have lost some irises. They just slid down in the creek and went on down, so that's okay. We've got more up in the yard that need divided, so after we get this work done up here, I'll see about replanting some, because they have helped hold up the ground pretty good. Well, Spots and Bashful are doing pretty good over here. Their pen is fairly dry, other than in there where a lot of water ran down, a lot of hay pack, and that's still real wet in there, so I need to muck some in here. And I'm just not looking forward to moving all these rocks and dirt. I'm still contemplating how I'm going to arrange this area. I mean, yeah. So, I don't know yet. A lot of things to think about and a lot of work to do. Oh, chickens. There's our 3 pure olive acre boys. I don't think we got any pure olive acre girls. These girls, at least a couple of them are olive acre and leg bar crosses. But I need to check their toe punches. I need to get out here and put bands on them. So, but I thought I heard somebody trying to sing an egg song earlier. I don't think you're quite red enough in the face yet. A little bit redder. You're almost there. And then we got to decide which one, or maybe 2 of these 3 boys I might keep. One's a little pushy, though of course not now on camera, right? Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing, boys? And then we have that boy. He is probably an olive acre leg bar cross. So I'll have to check his toe punch. Yeah. Hi. Are you the boy that's always chasing me and pecking at my feet? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, you gotta behave, or you're first in line for dinner. Got it? Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Hey. There you go. Oh. No, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. No. You do not jump me. And you don't bite the hand that feeds you, or you will be first in line to meet dumplings. You got my message, buddy? Huh? That's the same boy I was just petting. No. No. He's clawed my arm up now. Yep. Oh, you are not being appropriate at all. Yep, you can just hang around upside down for a minute. Yep. Mean boys are first to the stew pot. Not today, but your time is coming, because that was about your second chance, bud. Yeah. Third time's the charm. Are y'all watching this lesson? Huh? Yeah. Yup. Y'all just stay over there and be good boys. Your daddy is a very good boy. He's like 6 years old. He has never ever jumped at me or pecked at me or anything. He is very much a gentleman. And that's what I expect out of my roosters. Y'all got that? Okay. You think you got the lesson? Yeah? I'll let you up. Alrighty. We'll see how he is when I come back and feed in a little bit. Well, I still haven't really got out here in this garden space and done much of anything. I really need to get after the basil before it decides to freeze up. And I have things I should be putting in these big pots. So I will try and work on that the next few days, I guess. I don't think there's enough time for these tomatoes to actually do anything. They are blooming. They would probably set fruit, but it probably would not grow very big before we get a frost. So that's okay. Always next year, right? We might leave the little cherry tomatoes. They might make a few more little tomatoes before too long, so we'll see. Oh, right in my pathway, I got a whole bunch of little baby hollyhocks sprouting. So this is a hollyhock, but this, which looks very similar, is not. I don't remember the name of it, but that's a wild plant, a little weed thing. So, and then this is henbit, and this is chickweed. Chickweed is edible, and it has kind of, to me, it's just got kind of a green grassy flavor. And I find that especially early in the spring when we're getting warmed up, the stems are pretty stringy. But it's a nice little addition to salads if you need some more stuff. Henbit is also supposed to be edible. I don't care for the flavor. It's kind of strong, almost resinous. Has pretty purple flowers that the bees and butterflies like. So, well, that is a hollyhock seedling. So I will probably try and grab some of these hollyhocks because they're right here in my walkway. You know, move them other places. And I'm not sure. At first glance, that looks like a locust tree, but it might be, oh darn. What's the name of them? They're, oh, they have like pink floss flowers. I can't think of the name of it. Who knows where the seed for that came from, if that's what it is. Oh, but things just want to grow. Things just want to grow. Now that is a locust tree. One of the honey locusts, I think. Or is it? Is it a mesquite? It's either a mesquite or a honey locust. So, not 100% sure. Okay, there's our mystery cucurbit. It is growing quite well, but it does look like it's only got male flowers on it. If you don't know, cucurbits, squash, cucumbers, gourds, all those sorts of things. Pumpkins have male and female flowers, and these are males. The female flowers will have a little miniature fruit at the base of the flower. You see, like that one right there just has a little skinny stem. But if that was a female flower, it would have a little tiny fruit there. So I have to wait a little bit longer. Looks like the kale and collards are taken off quite well. And so are the radishes. Well, this dirt is a little bit hard. You almost need a drink of water in here. Wow. Yeah. We'll see if it actually rains a little bit tonight, and if not, I'll water these guys in the morning. Yeah. Almost time to take the shade cloth off. Now that the plants are a good size. Well, the lemongrass isn't doing too bad, most of it. Probably needs fed again. I just can't keep up with everything right now. All these kale and collards and mustard greens and dillweed and stuff. So today's Wednesday, so I think we'll let them go until Saturday and take them to the farmer's market in Superior. And if I don't sell them, then I'll just come home and plant them in different places here. So we'll see what happens. See how things go. Some of them are looking awful sad. Some of these pomegranates are splitting open and falling off and stuff. I better get those. Yep. Yep. Most of that's good. Looks like a bird or something pecked at it, but it's all right. Oh, look at that pretty purple zinnia. That is really pretty. Hope it makes some seeds. And there's a sweet potato laying under that tomato vine that's fallen over. And I don't know, that was a squash or pumpkin. They haven't done much of anything over here. Sweet potato vine, that's doing okay. Lots of stuff sprouting up out here. Probably mostly little weeds, but that's okay. We don't really want Bermuda grass in here, though. Hi, Tinker Cat. What are you doing? Oh, silly trees. Look at that. This mulberry tree is trying to bloom. And just like down the street, there's a lilac bush blooming and what looks like an apple tree or something trying to bloom down the street. So that's a little crazy. Y'all are all off on your seasons. Excuse me. Over here with Mr. Bentley. I just gave him a handful of pellets to keep him busy. We're putting some hay in the shed for him. Yes, hello, handsome. Yes, hello, handsome. Yes, I see you. I know. No nibbles. Alrighty, so we put a little flypaper up here on the hay shed. Hopefully it will not catch any birds or lizards or anything there. I'm hoping that that's not an issue. Mr. Bentley's having a little snack. I think we're all right. We're going to bring him a girlfriend at the end of the month. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. We will bring Miss Love over to keep you company in another week or so. Spots. Oh, you're so handsome. You're such a handsome boy. Look at you. Look at you. You're such a handsome boy like your Grandpa Bashful? Yes, you are. There's Grandpa Bashful back there. There he goes. Yes, but don't eat the flypaper, okay? I think that's why I didn't have any right here before, was somehow he got in there far enough that he could grab the paper. Yeah, don't eat the flypaper, dude. Alrighty, just out here changing flypaper. Look at that. I don't remember what day I put that up. It's maybe been a week. I just have to be careful that I put it in places that the goats can't get it and play with it. So this part of the fence just kind of sticks out. It was like extra, but I didn't want to cut the cattle panel because, you know, I might need that extra in the future. But yeah, this stuff works terrifically. And hopefully after this round of flypaper, we will have the population down a lot more. Time it took me to put up the next piece of flypaper. We caught a bunch of flies on the first one. We already caught some flies on the second one here. Yeehaw. But it is time to drop hay and fill up water buckets, huh, Spots? You've been waiting for me to bring you some hay, buddy? Okay. Alrighty, I have to show you all this. Okay, so here's the creek crossing where the culverts are, the giant hole we still need to fill in. And right here, there had been a bag of sunflower seeds, and part of it had got wet and moldy, and I had set it here, meaning to go plant them around the yard or something, right, in case any of them would sprout. Well then, of course, we had the flood, and lots of water came rushing this way, and you can see we still have a lot of debris, and that's Digger's pen. And over here in the back of Digger's pen, can you see right over there? Inside his pen are a whole bunch of sunflowers popping up. So that's how the water went. That's just crazy. Bots, what are you doing? Ay, ay, ay. Dude, why are you playing with the flypaper? Is it stuck in your mouth now? It's stuck in your mouth, isn't it? Crazy boy. Booger was coming right at me. I hate those things. They just are so creepy looking. Yes, they are. Just so creepy. That's his back end that's waving around in the air. That is a desert centipede. It is not the biggest one I've ever seen. It is not as big as the one that bit me a few weeks ago. And they are really hard to kill. Yuck. Like, I just wiped his head out, and I don't know. That's kind of creepy. Die, sucker, die. Yuck. Because we are still very wet and soggy down here where we had standing water, and the ground underneath is just so wet, and the pack is wet, and in some places it's heating up, in some places it's stinking of ammonia. All right, gentlemen, what's you doing? Huh? What's you doing, pretty girl? Yeah. So that's mostly what I'm doing today. I got to go over and muck some in the boys' pen. They've got a few maggots over there, so we need to get them taken care of. But I'm trying to get this ammonia smell out of the girls' pen. chickens. Ay, ay, ay. What are you doing inside the wall? Huh? What are you doing? And you're stuck. That, friends, is about 1 2/3 sheets of sheetrock wallboard for my back porch. And I'm so grateful. Volunteers that have been helping me had done and helped another lady, and she had this left over from her project, and she said to take it. And so I'm really grateful. They just brought it to me. So I just need to get some tape and some mud, and over the next few days, maybe I can get the back porch done. That would be really nice. Alrighty, it's chore time. I've been to town and got feed, and I had a sudden impulse to go by the grocery store. Not that I really super needed anything, and I usually wait and go on Sunday, but I went, and it was kind of cool. I saw an old family friend, hadn't seen in a little bit, had a chat, caught up, and then came home and mucked pen some more. Mucked over in the boys' pen some, right where I had seen a big bunch of maggots, which we fed to the chickens. They were happy. And then there was the poor scrawny little chicken that was having major issues, was stuck in the wall. I think the other chickens were beating her up, and I fixed her in a spot by herself. I just gotta make sure I go put some water in there for her when I go up to feed right now. And yeah. And so the volunteers brought some sheetrock. That's probably enough to do the back porch. Before I do all of it, though, I do want to see if I can get a new back door. Oh, fishy goats. And before I cut the sheetrock, because we might have to make a change around to the fishy goats. Hang on. Because I might have to make some change to the door frame or something like that. So we'll see. But yay, reasonably progressive day. You can see I got quite a good bit of stuff mucked out of the girls' pen. That white stuff is some lime, and then also some of the floor dry that I had left over from mopping the water up out of the back porch, because it is just diatomaceous earth. It's just that it's little chunks instead of ground fine. Oh my goodness, guys, look what I see in there. A duck egg, 2 duck eggs. Yes. 2 nice big dirty duck eggs. Look at that. I'm not sure. I don't think they were here yesterday. So, yeah, awesome. So who laid an egg? Was it Uno? Uno's the oldest. And Uno does look like a girl. Might have been Uno. Yeah. Was it you, Uno? I'll have to bring them something for a nest box. Yeah. What are you growling at? Huh? No, leave it. Leave it. Can y'all see it? A big old tarantula. No. No. You do not need that spider. No. Hi, Spidey. Hi, Spidey. Look at how big you are. Yeah. Hi. Kind of chilly out here this evening. Yeah. No. You just hanging out there, huh? I got a hole around here someplace, eh? No, leave it. No, you need to leave it. It's just fine. You just leave it.